Good morning. Welcome into the Cam Rogers Show on this June 18th, 2018. I am Cam Rogers. Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. I'll try not to break my arm patting myself on the back, but I'm going viral on Twitter with the whole Phil Mickelson situation. I'm telling you, you got to check it out at Mr. Rogers99. I've got you guys covered for the next hour. All NBA action and then a little fantasy football to wrap things up. So the latest LeBron James rumors. Kawhi Leonard joining the Cavs. We'll see about that. Maybe a LeBron-Lonzo Ball trade. I'll get to that in a matter of moments. The latest NBA rumors in general. So the NBA draft, of course, coming up later this week, live from Brooklyn. And more Kawhi talk. And then NBA draft team needs. I'll go team by team. I'll tell you what needs to happen for each respective franchise as we take you through all the latest buzz across the association. So with that, let's get to the latest LeBron James rumors. We'll start things off with perhaps Kawhi Leonard joining LeBron James in Cleveland. So according to Cleveland.com, the Cavs are actively making calls for Kawhi Leonard, who of course reportedly wants the Spurs to trade him. More details on that timeline later, but in terms of a LeBron James-Kawhi Leonard pairing in Cleveland, it's possible. I personally feel it's unlikely. Now, Leonard prefers one of the LA teams, more specifically the Lakers over the Clippers. He is an LA native, of course, and trading for a player with 1 year left on his contract is a risk in of itself, but when we're talking about the Cleveland Cavs, which could be on the horizon for a rebuilding team, wouldn't make much sense for bringing in Kawhi Leonard. So obviously, if Kawhi goes to Cleveland, there is the promise from LeBron James that he is staying with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's just the reality of the situation. Kawhi does not go to Cleveland if LeBron is not there. So if we hear more buzz about Kawhi going to Cleveland, if those rumors continue to build up, then that feeds that narrative that LeBron James is going to stay in Cleveland. I have said before on this very program that he is not going to stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he's joining the Los Angeles Lakers. And such, Kawhi Leonard joining the Los Angeles Lakers makes more sense for me personally. And I mentioned how devoting to a player who has 1 year left on his contract is a bit of a risk, kind of like what's happening with Paul George here, who could be headed for LA after a short stint with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's kind of a comparable situation here that we have with Kawhi Leonard. And if you are the Cleveland Cavs, let's say they do make a trade for Kawhi, they bring him in. Do you really think he's going to stay after 2019? I don't think so. So that's the whole deal there. Kawhi perhaps joining the Cavs. I think it's unlikely. I'll go through some other teams later when we get to the NBA rumors section. All right, how about LeBron and Lonzo? Perhaps a trade in the works. So ESPN's Chris Haynes recently said that there's one piece that could be moved and could be the centerpiece, if you will, of this LeBron James Lakers trade. And he said the one constant that he has heard is Lonzo Ball. LeBron James' best path to reach his max earning potential would be by declining his player option with the Cavaliers and then getting them to agree to a sign and trade with another franchise. Now, Ball finished the year averaging 10 points, 7 assists, nearly 7 rebounds, and 1.7 steals per game. Now, there's some serious buzz, of course, of LeBron James going to the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard perhaps going to LA as well via a trade, and perhaps Paul George signs a max with the team. And we all know that the Lakers have 2 max contract slots there, perhaps for LeBron James and Paul George, respectively. But if LeBron, Paul, and Kawhi all go to the LA Lakers, we have a new contender in the West. Look out Rockets and look out Golden State Warriors, a team in the midst of its dynasty at this juncture with 3 NBA titles in the last 4 years. So this also feeds into the narrative that, and I'm talking about this rumor here, LeBron isn't the biggest fan of Lonzo Ball, and by association, perhaps LeVar Ball as well. So if there are rumors of Lonzo Ball being the centerpiece of a potential trade involving LeBron James, that tells me, and probably should tell you, the viewer at home, that LeBron probably doesn't want to team up with Lonzo Ball and be associated with LeVar Ball by some way, of course, by the team of the LA Lakers. So keep that in mind here as we continue to see more and more rumors about LeBron James going to the LA Lakers. I personally don't think it's going to happen via a sign and trade. I'll go through the scenario later in the show in terms of how the Lakers can have the trio of LeBron, Paul George, and Kawhi. It is indeed possible, financially speaking, so I'll talk about that later. I know a lot of you guys have been DMing me about perhaps more momentum for LeBron to LA. Can LA get Kawhi and Paul George as well? Can they have all three of those players on the team at once? The answer is yes. I'll tell you later in the show. All right, next rumor here about LeBron. Shaquille O'Neal recently gave his 2 cents on James, saying don't chase titles. So Shaq won 4 titles with the Lakers and Heat during his 19-year career. He told ESPN in a recent interview, now this is actually pretty candid, he spent his last few seasons in the NBA chasing another title, and so he wouldn't want LeBron James to kind of repeat that same move, I should say. So here's what Shaq said about LeBron, quote, "If I was him, I wouldn't be trying to get 4, 5, and 6 rings because it ain't going to matter. It's just something else to talk about, something else to add to the pages. He's a legend, talked about as who is the best between he and Michael Jordan, so he is set." So in a sense, Shaq is saying that what's the point of chasing titles when your legacy is already set? It's already in stone. It's already there. Whatever he gets the rest of his career is just essentially gravy. And I may have to respectfully disagree with the 4-time NBA champion Shaquille O'Neal here because we're still talking about LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. That's the point of this. Like, LeBron James wants more titles, so he can just shut up this argument. There was a time when we were arguing Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, and then eventually Tom Brady shut up that argument, and Peyton Manning, waltzed into the sunset with a Super Bowl victory and all that, but he wore down. Tom Brady is playing at an MVP level, and so LeBron James wants to shut the door in that same regard against Michael Jordan, and as long as LeBron continues to win more and more NBA Finals, that will bolster that resume and hopefully, in his mind, and perhaps Cavs' minds and whatever, shut down that MJ versus LeBron argument. So I understand where Shaq is coming from in saying that you don't want to get over the top here chasing NBA titles where you may regret the decisions that you make, but at the same time, LeBron James, believe it or not, guys, still has a chip on his shoulder. He still wants to win more titles because, in my opinion, his legacy is not set yet. And he wants to basically cement himself as the greatest basketball player of all time. I think he is trending in that direction. And if he wins a couple more NBA titles, he will cement himself, no doubt about it. He probably should win 3 around there the rest of his career, in my opinion. I firmly believe that. If he goes and makes the right decision in terms of his next team, I think he very much can win 3 more NBA championships. All right, so we got Kevin chiming in on the Cam Rogers Show. LeBron, Leonard, PG equals championships. Kevin, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Don't worry, I'll get to a scenario later where all 3 of those players will be on the Los Angeles Lakers, so stay tuned for that one. Keep hitting me up in the comment section, by the way, folks. You could be featured here on the Cam Rogers Show, presented by FanDuel. And thanks to FanDuel for supporting the show today. It's an awesome week to sign up on FanDuel. Make your first deposit of any amount, and you'll receive $10 free. Free money, folks. That's the deal from FanDuel and Chat Sports. Awesome World Cup and Major League Baseball contests taking place for new players. FanDuel.com/chatsports to sign up and get $10 free with that first deposit. And we thank them for sponsoring the show here today. Let's continue along with the latest LeBron James rumors as he headed back to the Miami Heat. Well, Miami Heat forward Udonis Haslam revealed that LeBron James actually returned to South Florida before his NBA Finals return to spend time with Haslam and Dwyane Wade. Interesting. However, any relocation to Miami was not part of the discussion, and this is not shocking considering LeBron was prepping for an NBA championship title. So, yeah, that was not part of the discussion. Now, Haslam did say he's sure the organization would love to have him, and the Heat have been thrown around as a potential dark horse team to bring in LeBron James, but I personally just don't see it. Here's how I rank it, and I rank it in terms of tiers of potential teams for LeBron James. The LA Lakers are the hard favorite in my eyes. After that, you can incorporate the Philadelphia 76ers. Perhaps you can throw in the Houston Rockets. I think that's tier 2. And then tier 3, the likes of the Boston Celtics, the San Antonio Spurs. And if you want to go down even further, yeah, maybe you could throw in the Golden State Warriors if they make some serious trade, which would be insane for them to do. And then the Miami Heat. So that's kind of where I'm at. I rank LeBron's teams in terms of tiers. And there are minor to major gaps in between these tiers. So which team should LeBron sign with? Hit me up in this reaction poll. Give me a like for the Rockets, a laughing face for those Lakers, a heart for the San Antonio Spurs, and a wow face for another team out there. So be sure to let me know what you think. Explain upon yourselves in the comments section as well. All right, well, LeBron channel his inner MJ and play a little baseball. So how about this? This is kind of fun. The Lehigh IronPigs are actively recruiting LeBron James, saying if James joins the team, they'll immediately hire LeBron James Jr. as their social media director. So yeah, that's happening right now, and this isn't the first time that the IronPigs have been trying to recruit him. There's been billboards and all this stuff, just like what teams out there in the NBA are doing to get LeBron James to join their franchise, or not the team specifically, but fans or companies or whatever the case may be. Now, of course, Michael Jordan, he did it. He played baseball professionally back in 1994. I don't think LeBron James is going to do that, folks. That's just a little fun rumor to talk about, so don't get mad at me in the comment section. I'm not saying LeBron is going to go play baseball, but hey, maybe at some point in his afterlife, after his NBA career, he could. Who knows? All right, so keep that in mind. Be sure to sign up today. FanDuel.com/chatsports, folks. Receive $10 for free when you make your first deposit. Message us your username in the comments section on YouTube Live as well as Facebook Live, and we will feature you guys right here on the show. And I'll be starting up another golf game this week for the Travelers Championship up there in Cromwell, Connecticut. So be sure to give me your username and you can be a part of the contest. And if you win, you're getting a shout out on the show. So there's nothing better than that. All right, how about LeBron James to the Washington Wizards? How about that for a transition? I wouldn't put much stock into this. So Fansided did list Washington as an under-the-radar spot for LeBron. And once upon a time, they were the favorites to land Kevin Durant way back when. So, I mean, they've chased their fair share of high-profile athletes in their history. And, of course, the Wizards have a couple of good guards in Bradley Beal and John Wall. LeBron is very involved in terms of politics as well. But LeBron James isn't the biggest fan of the 45th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Of course, LeBron publicly saying that he wouldn't go to the White House even if he were invited if his team won the NBA Finals. Sounds like the Golden State Warriors aren't going to the White House either. It begs the question, and I want you guys weighing in right here, right now. Would you visit the White House if President Trump invited you? I think it's a very real question at this juncture because I'm seeing people saying no, they would not visit the White House. I'm seeing people that are saying, yes, I would absolutely love to visit the White House. It's an honor and a historic moment to go and see. And when you hear athletes saying that they wouldn't go even if they were invited, it makes me wonder what the general public feels. So that's why I have this weigh-in. I want you guys commenting. Let me know in the comments section below about that. All right, so that is the latest surrounding LeBron James.